It's me, Sweet Trucker 901. Y'all coming to y'all live. We are coming out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, headed to Memphis. I'm about 74 miles from my destination. And I just want to jump on here with you all and tell y'all thank you so much for watching and supporting my videos. Thanks for the few subscribers that I have gotten over the last couple of weeks. I really, really appreciate it. Whether you watch me every time I come on or you come back and rewatch or whatever you decide to do. Like I said, I'm still trying to form my platform and coming up with ways and thinking how I want to get my equipment set up, all that kind of stuff. But I do remember the last time that we were on live, I was doing a story time talking, and what happened was I had my navigation system on, and when the volume is on that, and I'm trying to go live, hands free, um, it will cut the volume off on the live. It interrupts it, so I can't have my volume on my map on the phone while trying to do a live because it's gonna cut the volume out every time. So we'll have another story time again on that particular topic that I was talking about, and that particular topic that I was talking about was manual semis versus to automatic semis, and the controversy versus to whether you're a real trucker or not, whether you're driving an automatic or whether you're driving a manual. We'll have that talk another time. But let's get into my weekend that just passed. So I had a load picking up in Memphis, headed to Austin, Texas. And again, I run dedicated on this power account doing FedEx. So from Memphis to Austin, Texas, with an 11-hour clock. I mean, that's pretty much literally a 9-hour drive and some change. Keep in mind, you got to go through Dallas, and that Dallas traffic can be yucky at times. And with that time frame, you really give yourself no room for error. So you really got to hustle and bustle, and you can't be BSing around at the truck stop. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so I accepted that load to go to Austin, and in the course of me accepting that load, I got two more pre-plans sent out to me, which were not FedEx loads. They were basically broker loads, which is basically loads that a OTR driver would carry, and the pays on those loads were alright. They was alright, but not all that. But it was enough to just, to keep me afloat. So I accepted a load going to Austin. Get to Austin, y'all. When I get to Austin, I had literally 20 minutes remaining. And I can't read the comments and stuff like that, but if you said something, hey, how you doing? Welcome in. I appreciate you. Make sure you hit that like button for me, please. Please, please, please. So I get to Austin. I got 20 minutes left on my clock. Whenever we go and do a drop, we're supposed to pick up an empty trailer and then go and park, do your 10-hour reset, and on to next. Based off of what you got planned next. So I got to that place, had 20 minutes left. I said to myself, I'm gonna just hook up to my trailer tomorrow. So I went around the corner, which on that FedEx, at that airport, they have parking for bobtail trucks. So you don't have to run off and try to get parking at the Loves or the Pilot or none of that kind of stuff. You pretty much can park at the airport if you're bobtailing. So get up that next day after my 10-hour reset, do my pre-trip, go over, grab my trailer, do my pre-trip on my trailer, and I actually ended up with the same trailer that I had dropped off. Hey, y'all. Let's see. So headed to my next load was to pick up in Dallas at what was I picking up? Water from Niagara, uh, water distribution. So I was picking up water to take it to Muskogee, Oklahoma, and I had to pick that up in Dallas. So the route that it had me going was 35E, like going up 70, well 35, yeah, going up, and then cutting off over to 75, going through Durant, Oklahoma. So my load picked up that morning. What I did was I drove from Austin to Hillsboro, Texas, which was like 50 miles outside of Dallas. It's really, really hard. If y'all in trucking, y'all know it's hard to find parking in Dallas. So I decided to park 50 miles outside of Dallas, um, which would still put me on the time frame of picking up my load on time. And I wasn't supposed to be there until like 10:30 for my pickup. So I parked at the TA at the Hillsboro. Watched my Bears game. That was awesome and sad at the same time. Got up that morning, headed, picked up my load in Niagara. Didn't take me long to get loaded, and so I still had a decent amount of time on my clock to get on through Dallas. My daughter lives in Dallas. Well, she actually lives outside of Dallas, in between Melissa and Anna, Texas, which sits right off of 70, which sits right off of 75. So I was like, I still got time to get to my next, to get to my drop. I can go and have some lunch and maybe dinner with them. So I went to the Loves first. The Loves was full, and I went to the Flying J. Get to the Flying J. I'm like, okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop my trailer, and my daughter stays like 3 or 4 miles behind. Her subdivision is like 3 or 4 miles behind this Flying J. So I didn't drop it in the reserve. I did it in the free parking. And typically, when they don't want you dropping trailers and stuff like that, they'll have the signs up. This location didn't have any of those signs. So, y'all, I dropped my trailer, went to my daughter's house, surprised them, got to spend some time. Hey, honey, I see you texting me. Got to spend some time with my daughter and my grandbabies. My daughter's going to school to be an esthetician, so she did a facial on me. She did my eyebrows, all that good stuff, pampered me. Had a good time. Now it's time for me to leave. So now that it's time for me to leave, I go up here to this Flying J, and I'm going to go look for my trailer. I know exactly where I parked my trailer. Trailer gone, y'all. So now I'm like, WTF? What in the flying hell? Trailer gone. I'm circling. I'm on the phone with my husband. He like, I told you. So I say, you know what? So I'm going to go in here and see what's going on. So I go in there, talk to the employees. They're like, what? Your trailer not out there? We didn't have anybody tow anything. We don't know what the first shift did, but we didn't do it. How long were you gone? And I'm trying to tell them how long I was gone, and that I didn't park it in a reserve or anything. So I was like, look, just give me the name of the company that y'all have towing stuff off your lot. So they gave me 2 names. The first name, they didn't have my trailer. The second name, they had my trailer. They're telling me how much it's going to cost. $516 is how much it cost me to get this trailer out. I still had time to go get this trailer and get headed on my way to still make this delivery. So I get out there to the place. Now mind y'all, it's almost my 10-hour reset is almost up or whatever. I get over there, pick my trailer up. The lady had an attitude, but but I didn't feed into the negativity. I just kept it positive, kept a smile on my face. I talked to dispatch or whatever. Dispatch was like, hey, you got to pay for the yard. I know all of that. Yes, lease operators, stuff like that happen. You already know what it is. So, I cost myself $500 just by simply dropping my trailer. I should have known not to do that. Ain't got to worry about that happening from me no more. So, I killed the lady with kindness, and by the end of it, she was nice. She was nicer. Ended up starting my clock on accident. Got that taken care of. Hook up to my trailer. Headed on to my next destination. And then at the end of the day, I made all of my drops and deliveries, all that stuff on time. I had to go to Whirlpool next, so I was able to drop off at Coca-Cola. I made it to Muskogee at 3 a.m. and they weren't letting anybody on the property until a little after 6 o'clock. And so I was able to get done with that and still run over to my next place to pick up, which was Whirlpool, which was basically a drop and hook. I dropped my empty, pick up the loaded trailer. And I was supposed to be there between 8 and 9. I made it there at 9:30. But technically it's from open to close. So I still was good. Was able to pick up my trailer. I got my trailer, drove as far as to right before Fort Smith, Arkansas, took my 10-hour break, and here I am. So I'm saying all this to say, do not drop your trailers. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't paying to do that and it's understood that you can drop your trailer there, you could cost yourself a lot of money. Company drivers, you could cost yourself your job. Lease operators, you can cost yourself money. Basically, you could be running, getting paid for a load to pay that money out. So you just did all this hard work for nothing. All because you decided to drop your trailer and unattach when you could have just got an Uber or a Lyft or somebody to come pick you up. Because it still would have been a surprise. But you ain't got to worry about that from me no more. But I'm not going to talk y'all ears to death. I just want to say hello. And I'll do another story time on the one that was brutally interrupted by my GPS. And we'll have that story time next time. My next stop after this is back to Hebron, Kentucky. We got a big snowstorm, ice storm basically. And I'm not really anxious to see what this entails, because going up in Kentucky, you in the mountains too. And not really looking forward to that, but it is what it is. And until the next time, y'all, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my page. I really appreciate it. If you don't subscribe, please hit the thumbs up, and peace.